All right. What up, everybody? Uh, let's bring this up. As a fan of Britney Spears, I gotta at least check this out. It's the news of the day. It's the one that pretty much sucks the oxygen out of the room right now. Um, Britney Spears' conservatory speech at the court asking or requesting the judge to end her father's conservatorship over her. See, where is that? Somebody put up an audio. I think this is it. Let's make it big.
Vacations. They are used to me sort of. Team wants me to work and stay home instead of having longer vacations. They are used to me sort of doing a weekly routine for them, and I'm over it. I don't feel like I owe them anything at this point. They need to be reminded they actually work for me. They trick me. So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. So basically, at this point, they need to be reminded they actually work for me. They trick me. So basically, this conservatorship is doing me way more harm than good. I deserve to have a life. I've worked my whole life. I deserve to have a 2 to 3 year break and just, do what I want to do. But I do feel like there is a crunch here, and I feel like I feel open and I'm okay to talk to you today about it. But I wish I could stay with you on the phone forever, because when I get off the phone with you, all of a sudden, I hear all these no's. No, no, no. And then all of a sudden I feel ganged up on, and I feel bullied, and I feel left out and alone. And I'm tired of feeling alone. I deserve to have the same rights as anybody does by having a child, a family, any of those things, and more so. And that's all I wanted to say to you. And thank you so much for letting me speak to you today. This is the only chance for me to talk to you for a while. I need your help. So if you can just kind of let me know where your head is.
The crowd is crazy, man, outside the court. Let me see the images of the crowds here. I think one of them actually. There you go. I think one of them even also. Look how big that audio system is. She really, wants everybody around her to actually listen in as well.
Legally, yes, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me. And to be totally honest with you, when he passed away, I got on my knees and thanked God. In other words, my team is pushing it with me again. I have trapped phobias being in small rooms because they're trauma locking me up for 4 months in that place. It's not okay for them to send me. Sorry, I got on my knees and thanked God. In other words, my team is pushing it with me again. I have trapped phobias being in small rooms because they're trauma locking me.
According to the transcript, let's see this of Britney's statement, she told the judge that she never wanted to do the domination residency, but was forced against her will. Then, when she canceled, they claimed she wasn't taking her medication and forced her on lithium. Wow. That's ridiculous. When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I've been doing Vegas for 4 years and I needed the break in between. But no, I was told that this is the timeline and this is how it's gonna go. I rehearse 4 to 4 days a week, half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in the Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show. I actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography myself. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of videos of me rehearsal. It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals and I never agreed to take my medication. My medication is only taken in the mornings, never at rehearsal. They don't even see me. So why are they even claiming that? When I said no to one dance move into rehearsals. Dang, dude. Could you imagine be that busy? It sounds like a very, from her statement, it sounds like a very suffocating life. Holy crap. This one it says, I feel weird if I say no. I feel they're gonna come back and be mean to me or punish me or something. 3 days later, I said no to Vegas. Sorry, that's my alarm. My therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I've been on for 5 years, and lithium is very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I used to. So you can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that, and I felt drunk. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told him I was scared. My doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medic. Dude, what the hell, dude? What kind of life is that, man? I mean, it only makes me not want to be a celebrity. People always say fame and fortune is like a big deal. I'm like, no, no, it's not really a big deal. No, if you see the cost of fame and fortune on Britney. Britney Spears said when they forced her into the mental health facility against her will in 2019, she cried on the phone for an hour to her father, her conservator. Is that a word, conservator? Conservatory? No, that would make Britney conservatory. Anyway. And he loved every minute of it. She cried on the phone for an hour to her father, and he loved every minute of it. Over the 2 week holiday, a lady came into my home for 4 hours a day, sat me down, and did a psych test on me. It took forever, but I was told that I had to. Then after that, I got off. When I was told I had to, then after that, I got a phone call from my dad, basically saying I had failed the test or whatever, whatever. I'm sorry, Brittany, you have to listen to your doctors. They're planning to send you to a small home in Beverly Hills to do a small rehab program that we're gonna make up for you. You're gonna pay $60,000 a month for this. Holy crap! I cried on the phone for an hour, and he loved every minute of it. Wow, wow. I am not jealous of celebrity, man. For reals, I could probably use some of the fortune. It doesn't hurt to be wealthy a little bit, but being this to the level of this, where somebody else controls my life, doesn't sound fun. Britney Spears said she was forced to take lithium against her will in her court hearing. Ooh, dang. And I believe Variety had released much of a big chunk of her statement online. I'm not gonna read all of this, so you can go to Variety. Britney Spears' full statement, conservatorship statement. Uh, Here you go. There's an excerpt. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad. And my dad acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over Christmas holidays before they sent me away when my kids went home to Louisiana. He was the one who approved all of it. My whole family did nothing. Yeah, that's awful, man. That's really awful. Let's see here. Let's see the latest. And I'm glad there's a big crowd outside, the courts, supporting her. Um, I like Britney, man. I like Britney. And I'm not, jumping on the bandwagon right now because of the hashtag Free Britney. I mean, I remember watching that "Hit Me, Baby, One More Time" music video back in 1998. I was a sophomore in high school sophomore, and it was like, wow, this is like the hottest girl I've ever seen ever. And I've been following her career since then, and she's just so great at what she does. And she's a great performer. She can really put on a show. My one regret is that I haven't really attended her show live. It's always been just like watching on the screen. Um, so it's like it really saddens me that she has to go through this, or she's been going through this massive abuse by her own dad of all people, man. Holy crap. Holy crap. It's disheartening to know that Britney Spears was not treated, I guess it's a, and it was not treated like a more animal in a cage than a human being than make me sick for her and other in her situation. Obviously, there's a bit of a grammar mistake there. Basically, I believe what Germany's trying to say is like, it sickens him that that an animal in a cage is treated much nicer than her. Let's see here. I think that's the only audio available.
Pay that I never even approved. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. And I haven't done anything wrong to deserve this treatment. It's not okay to do anything I don't want to do. By law, Jody and this so-called team I should be able to sue them for threatening me and saying if I don't go and do these meetings twice a week, we can't let you go to Maui on your vacations. You have to do what you're told for this program and then you will be able to go. But it was very clever they picked one of the most exposed places in Westlake, knowing I have the hot topic of the conservatorship, that over 5 paparazzis are going to show up and get me crying coming out of that place. I begged them to make sure that they did this at my home so I would have privacy. I deserve privacy. The whole conservatorship from the beginning, once
Man, look at this fan's reaction. The
I have
facial
the hot
expressions.
topic of the conservatorship, that over 5 paparazzis are going to show up and get me
goes like
crying
this.
coming out of that place. I begged them to make sure.
Unbelievable. uh, so, if you don't know, I did the liberty of looking it up. So, the legal controversy surrounding Britney Spears' conservatorship. Let's make it bigger. So, I believe this is CBS. Britney Spears has recently fought for changes to her court-appointed conservatorship, which has controlled her career and finances since 2008. And if you've seen that Hulu documentary about Britney Spears, I believe a few months ago, they also covered that. Most notably, she sought the removal of her father, Jamie Spears, from a leading role in the conservatorship. Her father currently serves as a conservator of... It sounds like a villain's name. Conservator. I'm conservator. Fight me. Co-conservator of the singer's estate alongside an outside financial group, Bessemer Trust. Britney's lawyers have said she would no longer perform as long as her father was in charge. The 38-year-old singer is expected to address the court about the conservator. All right, so that is basically the context, the background. And man, your heart gotta fall for this girl, man. Just like fall to the floor for her. I remember when she was like going through her stuff and the whole head, shaving of the head thing, and everybody was like really trashing her, and it just like gut wrenching. Like, why are you punching down on this woman who obviously was in a state of needing help, needing, like, you can't do that, man. It's always funnier. Comedy is always funnier when you punch up, not when you punch down. And somebody like Britney at that time was clearly needing help. And I didn't know until recently that her situation is even worse now with the whole legalship with her dad. And it got to the other topic of why many celebrities allow their fathers or their family members to be their managers or to be in charge of their financial stuff or to be in charge. I don't know how this came to be, this whole her father being the co-conservator, but in the broader picture, you gotta ask also, like, why many of these celebrities, and she's not the only one, many of the other celebrities was like, oh, my dad is my manager, or my mom, is the one who does things. Like, I get that they're family members and you wanna be able to trust them with your shit, but at the same time, they can be some of the most, some of the most untrustworthy. Like, they can be snakes. They can be snakes. they may be family members, but they don't necessarily have your best interest of heart, because just because they're, they're blood, that you share blood connection with them. I remember, I think Whitney Houston also had the same problem, right? You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Whitney Houston also had the same problem. I believe, her family members managing her shit, and then she had to cut ties with them eventually, because she realizes that they're just leeches. They're not really managing anything. They're just like profiting off of her. I think, yeah, I think the documentary Whitney last year or a couple of years ago covered that. So I'm like, like Britney Spears' story is not that uncommon among celebrities. Like, but maybe if you do get to that point, any of you watching, if you do get to the point of fame and fortune, maybe you should, kind of, this could be a cautionary tale, and be a little bit wiser on choosing who should be the conservators, or who should be in charge. Okay, who should be in charge of your shit. But I do hope Britney Spears gets out from this dude's gets out from under her dad's thumb. I do hope that Britney gets out from under her dad's thumb. Is that the only audio around? Let's before I go, I gotta at least put an extra effort. Britney Spears statement audio, because the audio that's been circling around is only like 2-3 minutes long. I get it. Twitter only allows 2-3 minutes. But still though, oh, here it is. I think somebody posted it on YouTube. I don't know if it's. Hopefully it's not fake. But if it's fake, then I'll come back to Twitter. But let me click on this.
I will be honest with you, I haven't been back to court in a long time because I don't think I was heard on any level when I came to court the last time.
All right.
I brought 4 sheets of paper in my hands and wrote in length what I had been through the last 4 months before I came there. The people who did that to me should not be able to walk away so easily. I'll recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney.
Ms. Spears, I hate to interrupt you, but my court reporter is taking down what you're saying.
Okay.
And so you have to speak a little more slowly.
Of course, yes. Okay, I apologize.
And
Great.
record of everything you're saying.
Okay.
Sure. Now,
the people who did this to me should not get away and to be able to walk away so easily. Recap. I was on tour in 2018. I was forced to do. My management said if I don't do this tour, I will have to find an attorney, and by contract, my own management could sue me if I didn't follow through with the tour. He handed me a sheet of paper as I got off the stage in Vegas and said I had to sign it. It was very threatening and scary, and with the conservatorship, I couldn't even get my own attorney, so out of fear, I went ahead and I did the tour. When I came off that tour, a new show in Las Vegas was supposed to take place. I started rehearsing early, but it was hard because I'd been doing Vegas for 4 years and I needed a break in between. But no, I was told this is the timeline and this is how it's going to go. I rehearsed 4 to 4 days a week, half of the time in the studio and half of the other time in a Westlake studio. I was basically directing most of the show with my whereabouts, where I preferred to rehearse, and actually did most of the choreography, meaning I taught my dancers my new choreography myself. I take everything I do very seriously. There's tons of video with me at rehearsals. I wasn't good. I was great. I led a room of 16 new dancers in rehearsals. It's funny to hear my manager's side of the story. They all said I wasn't participating in rehearsals, and I never agreed to take my medication, which my medication is only taken in the mornings, never at rehearsal. They don't even see me. So why are they even claiming that? When I said no to one dance move into rehearsals, it was as if I planted a huge bomb somewhere. And I said, no, I don't want to do it this way. After that, my management and my dancers and my assistant of the new people that were supposed to do the new show all went into a room, shut the door, and didn't come out for at least 45 minutes. Ma'am, I'm not here to be anyone's slave. I can say no to a dance move. I was told by my, at the time, therapist, Dr. Benson, who died, that my manager called him in that moment and told him I wasn't cooperating or following the guidelines in rehearsals. And he also said I wasn't taking my medication, which is so dumb because I've had the same lady every morning for the past 8 years give me my same medication, and I'm nowhere near these stupid people. It made no sense at all. There was a week period where they were nice to me and they said, I don't want to do, and I told them I don't want to do the they were nice to me. They said, if I don't want to do the new Vegas show, I don't have to, because I was getting really nervous. I said, I can wait. It was like, they told me I could wait. It was like lifting literally 200 pounds off of me when they said I don't have to do the show anymore, because I was really, really hard on myself and it was too much. I couldn't take it anymore. So I remember telling my assistant, but you know what? I feel weird if I say no. I feel like they're going to come back and be mean to me or punish me or something. 3 days later, after I said no to Vegas, my therapist sat me down in a room and said he had a million phone calls about how I was not cooperating in rehearsals and I haven't been taking my medication. All of this was a false. He immediately the next day put me on lithium out of nowhere. He took me off my normal meds I'd been on for 5 years. And lithium is a very, very strong and completely different medication compared to what I was used to. You can go mentally impaired if you take too much, if you stay on it longer than 5 months. But he put me on that and I felt drunk. I really couldn't even take up for myself. I couldn't even have a conversation with my mom or dad really about anything. I told them I was scared and my doctor had me on 6 different nurses with this new medication come to my home, stay with me, to monitor me on this new medication, which I never wanted to be on to begin with. There were 6 different nurses in my homes and they wouldn't let me get in my car to go anywhere for a month. Not only did my family not do a goddamn thing, my dad was all for it. Anything that happened to me had to be approved by my dad, and my dad only, he acted like he didn't know that I was told I had to be tested over the Christmas holidays before they sent me away when my kids went home to Louisiana. He was the one who approved all of it. My whole family did nothing. Over the 2-week holiday, a lady came into my home for 4 hours a day, sat me down and did a psych test on me. It took forever. But I was told I had to then, after that I got off, I was told I had to then, after I got a phone call from my dad saying, after I did the psych test with this lady, basically saying I had failed the test or whatever, I'm sorry, Britney, you have to listen to your doctors. They are planning to send you to a small home in Beverly Hills to do a small rehab program that we're going to make up for you. You're going to pay $60,000 a month for this. Wow. I cried on the phone for an hour and he loved every minute of it. The control he had over someone as powerful as me, as he loved the control to hurt his own daughter 100,000%. He loved it. I packed my bags and went to that place. I worked 7 days a week, no days off, which in California, the only similar thing to this is called sex trafficking, making anyone work against their will, taking all their possessions away, credit card, cash, phone, passport card, and placing them in a home where they work with the people who live with them. They all lived in the house with me, the nurses, the 24/7 security. There was one chef that came there and cooked for me daily during the weekdays. They watched me changed every day, naked, morning, noon, and night. My body, I had no privacy door for my room. I gave 8 gallons of blood a week. If I didn't do any of my meetings and work from 8 to 6 at night, which is 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, no days off, I wouldn't be able to see my kids or my boyfriend. I never had a say in my schedule. They always told me I had to do this. And ma'am, I will tell you, sitting in a chair 10 hours a day, 7 days a week, it ain't fun. And especially when you can't walk out the front door. And that's why I'm telling you this again 2 years later. After I've lied and told the whole world I'm okay and I'm happy, it's a lie. I thought I said that enough. Maybe I might become happy because I've been in denial. I've been in shock. I am traumatized. Fake it till you make it. But now I'm telling you the truth, okay? I'm not happy. I can't sleep. I'm so angry, it's insane, and I'm depressed. I cry every day, and the reason I'm telling you this is because I don't think how the state of California can have all this written in the court documents from the time I showed up and do absolutely nothing, just hire with my money another person to keep my dad on board. Ma'am, my dad and anyone involved in this conservatorship and my management who played a huge role in punishing at me when I said, no, ma'am, they should be in jail. They're cool tactics working for Miley Cyrus as she smokes on joints and stage at the VMAs. Nothing is ever done to this generation for doing wrong things. But my precious body, who's worked for my dad for the past fucking 13 years, trying to be so good and pretty, so perfect when he works me so hard, when I do everything I'm told in the state of California, allowed my ignorant father to take his own daughter, who only has a role with me if I work with him. They set back the whole course and allowed him to do that to me. That's giving these people I've worked for way too much control. They also threatened me and said if I don't go, then I have to go to court. And it will be more embarrassing me if the judge publicly makes go the evidence we have. You have to go. I was advised for my image, I need to go ahead and just go and get it over with. They said that to me. I don't even drink alcohol. I should drink alcohol considering what they put my heart through. Also, the Bridges facility they sent me to, none of the kids, I was doing this program for 4 months. So the last 2 months I went to a Bridges facility. None of the kids there did the program. They never showed up for any of them. You didn't have to do anything if you didn't want to. How come they always made me go? How come I was always threatened by my dad and anybody that participated in this conservatorship? If I don't do this, what they tell me to enslave me to do, they're going to punish me. The last time I spoke to you by just keeping the conservatorship going and also keeping my dad in the loop made me feel like I was dead, like I didn't matter, like nothing had been done to me, like you thought I was lying or something. I'm telling you again because I'm not lying. I want to feel heard, and I'm telling you this again so maybe you can understand the depth and the degree and the damage that they did to me back then. I want changes, and I want changes going forward. I deserve changes. I was told I have to sit down and be evaluated again if I want to end the conservatorship. Ma'am, I didn't know I could petition the conservatorship to end it. I'm sorry for my ignorance, but I honestly didn't know that. But honestly, I don't think I owe anyone to be evaluated. I've done more than enough. I don't feel like I should even be in a room with anyone to offend me by trying to question my capacity of intelligence, whether I need to be in this stupid conservatorship or not. I've done more than enough. I don't owe these people anything, especially me, the one that has roofed and fed tons of people on tour on the road. It's embarrassing and demoralizing what I've been through, and that's the main reason. I've never said it openly. And mainly I didn't want to say it openly because I honestly didn't think anyone would believe me. To be honest with you, the Paris Hilton story on what they did to her to that school, I didn't believe any of it. I'm sorry, I'm an outsider, and I'll just be honest, I didn't believe it. And maybe I'm wrong, and that's why I didn't want to say any of this to anybody, to the public, because I thought people would make fun of me or laugh at me and say, she's lying, she's got everything, she's Britney Spears. I'm not lying. I just want my life back, and it's been 13 years, and it's enough. It's been a long time since I've owned my money, and it's my wish and my dream for all of this to end without being tested. Again, it makes no sense whatsoever for the state of California to sit back and literally watch me with their own 2 eyes make a living for so many people and pay so many people trucks and buses on tour on the road with me and be told I'm not good enough, but I'm great at what I do. And I allow these people to control what I do, ma'am, and it's enough. It makes no sense at all. Now, going forward, I'm not willing to meet or see anyone I've met with enough people against my will. I'm done. All I want is to own my money for this to end and my boyfriend to drive me in his fucking car. And I would honestly like to sue my family, to be totally honest with you. I also would like to be able to share my story with the world and what they did to me instead of it being a hush-hush secret to benefit all of them. I want to be able to be heard on what they did to me by making me keep this in for so long is not good for my heart. I've been so angry and I cry every day. It concerns me. I'm told I'm not allowed to expose the people who did this to me. For my sanity, I need you to the judge to approve me, do an interview where I can be heard on what they did to me. And actually, I have the right to use my voice and take up for myself. My attorney says I can't, it's not good. I can't let the public know anything they did to me. And by not saying anything is saying it's okay. I don't know what I said here. It's not okay. I don't want to interview. I'd much rather just have an open call to you for the press to hear, which I didn't know today we're doing. So thank you. Instead of having an interview, honestly, I need that to get it off my heart, the anger and all of it that's been happening. It's not fair they're telling me lies about me openly. Even my family, they do interviews to anyone they want on news stations, my own family doing interviews and talking about the situation and making me feel so stupid. And I can't say one thing. And my own people say I can't say anything. It's been 2 years. I want a recorded call to you. Actually, we're doing this now, which I didn't know that we were doing this. To the public who knows what they did to me. I told I know my lawyer, Sam, has been very scared for me to go forward because he's saying if I speak up, I'm being overworked in that facility of that rehab place. The rehab place will sue me. He told me I should keep it to myself, really. I would personally like to Actually, I know I've had grown with a personal relationship with Sam, my lawyer. I've been talking to him like 3 times a week now. We've kind of built a relationship, but I haven't really had the opportunity by my own self to actually handpick my own lawyer by myself. And I would like to be able to do that. I would like to also, the main reason why I'm here is because I want to end the conservatorship without having to be evaluated. I've done a lot of research, ma'am, and there's a lot of judges who do end conservatorships for people without them having to be evaluated all the time. The only times they don't is if a concerned family member says something's wrong with this person and otherwise. And considering my family has lived off my conservatorship for 13 years, I won't be surprised if one of them has something to say and go forward and say, we don't think this should end. We have to help her, especially if I get my fair served in turning, exposing what they did to me. Also, I want to speak to you about, at the moment, my obligations, which I personally don't think at the very moment I owe anybody anything. I have 3 meetings a week I have to attend no matter what. I just don't like feeling like I work for the people whom I pay. I don't like being told I have to, no matter what, even if I'm sick. Jody, the conservator, says I have to see my coach Ken even when I'm sick. I would like to do 1 meeting a week with a therapist. I've never, even before they sent me to that place, had 2 therapy sessions. A therapy session and 1 therapy session with I have a doctor and then a therapy person. What I've been forced to do illegal in my life, I shouldn't be told I have to be available 3 times a week to these people I don't know. I'm talking to you today because I feel, again, yes, even Jody is starting to kind of take it too far with me. They have me going to therapy twice a week and a psychiatrist. I've never in the past they have me going, twice a week and my Dr. Gold, so that's 3 times a week. I've never in the past had to see a therapist more than once a week. It takes too much out of me going to this man I don't know. Number 1, I'm scared of people. I don't trust people with what I've been through. And the clever setup of being in Westlake, one of the most exposed places in Westlake, which yesterday, paparazzi showed me coming out of the place literally crying in therapy. It's embarrassing and it's demoralizing. I deserve privacy when I go. I deserve privacy when I go and have therapy, either at my home, like I've done for 8 years. They've always come to my home. Or when the Dr. Benson, the man that died, I went to a place similar to what I went to in Westlake, which was very exposed and really bad. Okay, so wait, where was I? In Westlake. It was identical to Dr. Benson, who died, the one who illegally, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me too. And to be totally honest with you, I was so...
Excuse me for interrupting you. But my reporter says if you could just slow down a little bit because she's trying to make sure she gets everything that you're saying.
Okay, cool.
And so if you could, that would be great.
I have been through, and the clever setup in Westlake is identical to Dr. Benson, who died, the one who illegally, 100% abused me by the treatment he gave me. And to be totally honest with you, when he passed away, I got on my knees and thanked God. In other words, my team is pushing it with me again. I have trapped phobias being in small rooms because the trauma locking me up for 4 months in that place. Is not okay for them to send me, I'm going fast, to that small room like that twice a week with another new therapist I pay that I never even approved. I don't like it. I don't want to do that. And I haven't done anything wrong to deserve this treatment. It's not okay to force me to do anything I don't want to do. By law, Jody and this so-called team I should be able to sue them for threatening me and saying, if I don't go and do these meetings twice a week, we can't let you have your money and go to Maui on your vacations. You have to do what you're told for this program, and then you will be able to go. But it was very clever. They picked one of the most exposed places in Westlake, knowing I have the hot topic of the conservatorship, that over 5 paparazzis are going to show up and get me crying coming out of that place. I begged them to make sure that they did this at my home so I would have privacy. I deserve privacy. The whole conservatorship from the beginning, once the conservatorship from the beginning, once you see someone, whoever it is in the conservatorship, making them money and myself money and working, that whole statement right there, the conservatorship should end. There should be I shouldn't be in a conservatorship if I can work and provide money and work for myself and pay other people.
Booyah.
It makes no sense. The laws need to change. What state allows people to own another person's money and account and threaten them and saying, you can't spend your money unless you do what we want you to do,
Bam.
and I'm paying them? Ma'am, I've worked since I was 17 years old. You have to
Yes, she
understand how
has.
thin that is for me. Every morning I get up to know I can't go on somewhere unless I meet people I don't know every week in an office identical to the one where the therapist was very abusive to me. I truly believe this conservatorship is abusive. And now we can sit here all day and say, oh, conservatorships are here to help people. But ma'am, there's 1,000 conservatorships that are abusive as well. I don't feel like I can live a full life. I don't owe them to go see a man I don't know and share him my problems. I don't even believe in therapy. I always think you take it to God. I want to end the conservatorship without being
Well, we
evaluated.
can disagree
In
on
the
that.
meantime, I want this therapist once a week. He can either come to my home. No, I just want him to come to my home. I'm not willing to go to Westlake and be embarrassed by all these paparazzi, these scummy paparazzi laughing at my faces while I'm crying, coming out and taking my pictures as all these white, nice dinners where people drinking wine at restaurants, watching me leave these places. They set me up by sending me to the most exposed places, and I told them I didn't want to go there because I knew paparazzi would show up there. Um, uh, they only gave me 2 options for therapists, and I'm not sure how you make your decisions, ma'am, but this is the only chance for me to talk to you for a while. I need your help. So if you can just kind of let me know where your head is. I don't really honestly know what to say, but my requests
Kristen.
are just to end the conservatorship
indeed.
without being evaluated. I want a petition basically to end the conservatorship, but I want it to be petitioned to end it, but I don't want to be evaluated and be sat in a room with people 4 hours a day like they did me before. And they made it even worse for me after that happened.
insane.
So I'm honestly
insane
new with
indeed,
this, and
Kristen.
I'm doing research on all these things. I do know common sense and the method that things can end. For people, it has ended without them being evaluated. So I just want you to take that in consideration. I've also done research. Also took a year during COVID to get me any self-care methods during COVID. She said there were no services available. She's lying, ma'am. My mom went to the spa twice in Louisiana during COVID. For a year, I didn't have my nails done, no hairstyling and no massages, no acupuncture, nothing for a year. I saw the maids in my home each week with their nails done different each time. She made me feel like my dad does, very similar, her behavior and my dad, but just a different dynamic. Team wants me to work and stay home instead of having longer vacations. They are used to me sort of doing a weekly routine for them, and I'm over it. I don't feel like I owe them anything at this point. They need to be reminded they actually work for me. They tricked me by sending me to the. Okay, I repeated myself there. Okay.
All right, I think that's about enough at the moment. Let me just share you my final thoughts before I go off this video. Basically, it sounds like, and it's my theory, that she doesn't have control of her career, man, and her life too. And like I said earlier, before this, before I play this audio, it just baffles me how some celebrities would just let their family members kind of take care of their shit or to manage their shit. Like, I get that they're blood, but it's not always. It doesn't always mean that they're trustworthy. And in the case of Britney, it sounds like everybody around her in that conservatorship is controlling her, and they pretty much see her as nothing more than a money-making machine commodity. Like, even though she's the one who's working hard, she's the one who's pretty much paying, their salary, they're paying them all their stuff. But because she's their gravy train, so they're like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you can't do this, you can't do that, because otherwise, if you do this, this might happen, and we're not gonna get profit. We're not gonna get to profit off of you. If you do this, this will happen, and therefore we're not gonna get to profit off of you. So that's what it sounds like. It sounds like they're treating her as not family member, but more like a commodity, like a product. You know what I'm saying? Like an ATM machine. And this is not this is not an uncommon story. Like I said, I think Whitney Houston also dealt with the same problem in her career back in her prime, and so she had to cut ties with her family members who who were basically just leeching off of her. And it went even one step further for Britney, because they not only leech off of her, they actually control all of her stuff. And like, you gotta go see this therapist, you gotta see that therapist. Now, I may disagree with Britney Spears when she said that she doesn't believe in therapy. I myself personally believe in therapy, but that's okay. We can have that disagreement, but you can't be forced into going to therapy if you don't want to. What is this? A dictatorship, authoritarian country that we're living in? No, man. So it just pains me, it just saddens me to hear this. And as a fan of Britney Spears, as I've been a fan for a long time, to see her having gone through this, and I hope, I don't know, I haven't checked the update yet. I don't know what the judge's decisions are. Maybe you can tell me. Maybe by the time I end this video, some decision has been made, or maybe not yet. But I hope she gets the positive end, of the brunt of this thing. Like, I hope she gets to win. That's my hope, at least. And I hope she gets to do what she does. And she said she's very great at what she does, and that's true. But I hope that she gets to do what she does because she wants to, because she's free to do so, because she loves it, and not because of all these people controlling her like a puppet master around her. So, but yeah, that's her statement today. Again, definitely, it does not make me want to be famous, man. I am not jealous of celebrities, man. I may want to be internet famous, but even that on a healthy dosage. I may want a little bit of the wealth, like I said earlier, just so I can help my family and whatnot. But man, I am not jealous of the celebrity life. Like she said, like Britney Spears said, like every time she comes out of that a therapy session, paparazzi's already waiting for her to take pictures of her. It's just like, man, no privacy, man. It must have been a suffocating life. So I wish her happiness. And I hope she finds it. And I hope the judge ends her conservatorship. So we'll see. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Subscribe. Let's rock this.